Sorry, morning. I'm a bit late, I'm very sorry for that. But thank you for already being here. Thank you very much and good everything. Welcome to this stream. Give me a second. I'll activate the chat so I can see if you write with me. Okay, thank you very much for joining. Welcome. Today I still have to finalize the setup. Today we will be tackling Heath Ledger's Joker, which is a bit of a challenge, but I have done a lot of challenges lately and fared reasonably well, so why not? Why not try this? No time like the present, right? I tell that to people lately a lot, so I have to live by my own standard. Still try to get as much of the paper as possible on there for you, but I think that should be enough. Yeah, okay. Hey Shakira. Hey Cyril, how are you? Welcome. So today, one of the more scary villains that we have from movies, Joker, from the, I don't know when it was filmed, it's a little bit a while ago already. Heath Ledger played Joker in that movie, and unfortunately he was not alive to reprise his role in later movies. I'm not sure if they would have even used that character again, but we will never know. We probably know, I just haven't googled it. So he is a bit more scary. He has a little bit of scar tissue around the mouth. He is full of makeup, so everything that is really not that easy to reproduce in lead. But we will try. Today is the first part. I would think that we will need at least 3 parts. We will see. Okay, let's get started. Without further ado, we will jump right into it. How do I start? With which pencil? I actually draw the... last stream I restarted the Black Panther one because I was not happy after the first stream with the outcome. And picture might be better if I... 1 second. I think this is actually better quality wise, yeah. Less shadow for you. Okay, so last stream I was eating just a sandwich. I just made something real quick. To get a little bit of energy before we start. Because we will be in this for at least 1.5 hours. I did not eat anything yet. So, the last one, I drew something for the second stream, so we did not start from scratch. I included that in the time-lapse video, however, so there's no secrets. I used this pencil there for the general outline and everything and the proportions, so we will do that also today. That was lucky for Black Panther, so let's see if it was also lucky for our dear friend Joker here. And yes, I massively prefer this Joker from the Jared Leto one. Although I have to say that I understand that they did not try something remotely similar for Jared Leto, but went a completely different way. I think that was actually a smart move. It doesn't make the design very good that they chose in the end. So we would choose here again when we are with choices, we would choose where the head ends down here because we can. We will choose where we put the sides of the head, which is actually one of the good things about this portrait. He has a very square face in general, so that makes it a bit easier for us. And then we will have to measure where the hairline starts. It's interesting. It's not too far away actually from. This is not. Let me put in more high energy music. I like the music, but it does not really fit our model, does it? Perhaps later the lower energy again. So it's more or less almost, if we would add the ears, something like this. I have no idea right now. This will be very preliminary, but it's about the space because he is tilting the head downwards, which will be a bit of a challenge to reproduce. It is about the same height. So this is an information that will probably help us. It was a bit dark. The hair again will also be quite interesting here because we have very greasy hair. This is extremely greasy. And I'm not yet sure how to show that. So my usual techniques will not work with this. But we will see. Hair is something for future me. I am sure next stream future me will not be too happy about that I put this up for him. But present me can't be bothered right now. Because I have no idea, truth be told. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. Perhaps I will even look for a greasy hair tutorial. Oh, something else that I just noticed. I don't know why I have not yet noticed it yet. I took the wrong paper right now, but we will just go with it. This is the... I've spoken about it already also for quite some time, that I have this much more... or I know the other way around. Less coarse paper. Not that much structure. So... it might benefit details. Because when we shade, it will be... It's the completely wrong face to do this with, though, but we will roll with it. It will be less coarse. You will have less structure that is provided to the shading by the paper itself. So that might be interesting. As this is a very broken face, let me just call it like that, there will be a lot of reason for making it coarse. And it would be a good fit for my style, but we will go with it. Good morning, Liana. Welcome to the stream. Oh, I see that my bottle is a little bit in front of the camera. So, yeah. So the face, the general shape of the face is actually a pretty easy one. But that's about the only easy thing about this portrait, I would say. We have I have no idea how we will make the hair. I will just add a couple of strands to show that we do not have a clear line that we work with here. This will be hard. A challenge. Something like that. Perhaps. I'm questioning a little bit this very big section here, but I think actually it is there. It is just not as obvious in the photo because this side of the face is so dark. So it blends more with the hair, so you do not see that there's really a big area that does not even have any hair on it. We won't be doing that hair today anyway, as I already said. So, future Greyhound will have to worry about that. I think there is already resemblance, right? Heath Ledger has a very prominent jaw, so this is definitely already Heath Ledger. Let's be positive today, guys. Let's be positive. So how is your day going? I know how your day is going, Chuck, so... Always avoiding the hair, that's right. How's Cricket? Running around again, or is he asleep now? So... The usual helps, like... half the face, more or less, is onto the upper end of the eyes. Does not work here at all because of the tilt of the head. So we have to find other proportions that help us. The distance to the tip of the nose is the same as until the midth of the eye. So that is something that's also more of a typical proportion actually. I'm almost surprised that it works in this tilt, but it's probably his prominent chin that helps with that elongating the lower part of the picture. So that can help us, and then let's see if we're lucky. We have another help. Yeah, it is about a third actually. So we have this part, we have this part, and then we have about a third, right? I'm rambling a bit, let me explain. So I measured that the distance between the chin and the nose, start of the nose, is the same as between the nose and the midth of the eyes. And that is actually also the same between the middle of the eyes and the start of the hairline. So we can just make thirds and say, yeah, we have the general position. So we have kind of... This is a difficult portrait because not only the makeup that is adding on this difficulty, that you do not see the contours very well. So we will also not be able to use them, and we will not use them. We will work more with shadows than with lines in this one, and that will be not super easy. The same as with the eyes. You do not see, for example, something that I always cling to make it more lifelike. The eyelashes, you see nothing like that at all because of the heavy makeup. We are okay now. He's laying next to me watching the stream. Perfect. He has to relax now. Heath Ledger was really good in that movie. Really good. And I think generations of actors can be very thankful to him. Because, for example, Ben Affleck, when it was announced that Ben Affleck would be playing Batman, there was a lot of heat for that, because he was just so abysmal as Daredevil, as he knows, he is aware, and it's not all his fault. The movie as this is just a terrible thing. But at least I think a lot of other people were thinking, wait for it, you never know. You did not expect Heath Ledger to be a good Joker, and he was an amazing one. And it's the same now with Robert Pattinson. I'm also thinking, or I thought at least, I don't see it, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt. You know? But, well. I'm still not, my mind is not made up. A lot of people were so happy about him in the trailer. As Batman said, oh, he's going to make a great Batman. I'm not sure. He made a better Bruce Wayne for me than a Batman. I don't buy his Batman yet. Oops. That won't broke. But we will see. Hey, Lainey, how are you? he's a hottie and a bitty. Let's say that it is. He's also a bitty. Yeah, he was, obviously. This is the role with which he showed the world that he can actually act. And unfortunately, also the last one. And this will be really difficult. I already see it. This already annoys the hell out of me. It will probably look strange for a while because of the strange position he is in. Let's try to add a mouth. That will still not help that much. I will just, for the mouth I oftentimes just go with it and then I correct it with shading later. I was again thinking about introducing colors for this one, because this one practically screams to make a red mouth, doesn't it? But you know, this is just all preliminary, don't worry. This does not have to look correct. It's just there to let us have an idea, because this already makes me think the eyes are too high. But that could be one of the tricks because of the tilt. When I heard he was cast as the Joker, I think I might have been the one person I know that went yes. One personal favorite is probably Patrick Verona. They have that one on Disney Plus. You know, the movie. I won't say the name, but I get the feeling you want to know if Lainey knows that movie that you are referring to, so I won't say the title. But they have that on Disney Plus. I probably will revisit that one in one of my upcoming couch sessions. I think I will work with the eyes like this. I think we will move them a little bit lower by shading. But I don't believe they are completely wrong, especially since we have found out that the measurement between here is the same as here. And we have verified that. I have just again, I will verify in the original again that I'm not lying to you. Well, it is perhaps a little bit lower. But we will do that with shading. I tend to draw eyes too small anyway. Let me just correct the lower part. Put it a little bit lower. And this eye is too much on the left, isn't it? Oh, it's so difficult with it. Makeup. It is so difficult. But I think so. That's one of the good things with this paper that I did not intend to use, but in the end I now decided to just go for it. Took the wrong kind of paper. It is doesn't have a lot of structure, but that also means that you can erase better on it. It's very slippery, not the word I'm searching for right now, but it should help you to understand what I mean. Shouldn't talk all the way like this. I should talk a bit more relaxed, I think. Better for my vocal cords. Here we go again with the probability of color that is not going to happen. Because nobody votes for it. Every time I'm asking if you guys want color, you do not even react. I don't give people what they don't want to. I'm not testing people for movie knowledge. No, you never are. You're not a walking lexicon full of movie quotes. Testing everyone around you. The last part is perhaps not intentional, but that's the result. 10 things, yes, of course. It is a nice movie. It is a good movie. Full of adorable quotes, yeah. Liana votes for color. That's one vote. Might be too late, but might work for the next one. One of the next ones will be vision. I do want to draw vision. And vision without color will be interesting. Because of showing that we are talking about color in his face and not shadow or light. That would be a nice, interesting challenge. So perhaps I would do it in black and white. I will always find a reason to make it in black and white. Don't you worry. Red mouth. Yeah. I know you guys just want to torture me. Look up the video of Cristo that I made, Cristo Bolito, the portrait. He had a picture that is completely in blue light, and I added blue, and it turned out horribly. So, do you really want me to ruin Heath Ledger? I'm not sure that I can. risk his legacy in such a way. So I would show my beloved coaster again, but the coaster video is very much underperforming, so nobody loves my coaster. So I won't show it. Will probably scare everyone away. My poor little coaster. My coaster knows that I love it, so it's happy. But how to continue this? Truth be told, this is baffling me a bit. So we have the extreme black make-up around the eyes. I think actually that we will consider that its own shape. Try to find its outline. And then draw that in. So that we have basically, and that could already look quite interesting. Then we have those two shapes around the eyes, and those plus the eyes completely shaded. So that could look quite interesting, and second, I don't know what else to do right now. And as long as I am keeping it a little bit lighter in the outer areas of this makeup, I can always correct it and blend it into the other skin parts and stuff like that. You love me, but you love picking on me more. Yes, I get that. That always reminds me there is a it's German, so you but I don't know, perhaps he has stolen it somewhere. A cartoonist in Germany had a pretty funny one where there was a guy eating I want to say resin, but that's not the word. Rosinen? Liana, what is Rosinen? Hey Google, was heißt Rosine auf Englisch? Raisin, not resin. Okay, I've worked too much with resin. Raisin, of course. I forgot that word. So he ate a raisin, piece of raisin bread. Let's say raisin bread. And another one watching him said, "I thought you hate raisins." And he said, "Yeah, but I hate myself more than raisins." I totally destroyed the punchline, but I loved that one. It's in the same vein. I have this image in black and white with red mouth. Yeah, that is. You guys will really make me do it, no? On t-shirt I needed to add. Yeah. But more the outlines, right? So I think I know that t-shirt. That it was more single colors, not. I don't know. Yeah, we're terrified of coasters. Exactly. I think people are terrified of coasters. I love coasters. I'm jealous I don't have it. Well, I will actually make more, and who knows if it's easy enough and if I have enough people. Perhaps I will start my own Etsy store for mood ring coasters. You never know. Raisins. I hate raisins. Raisins are terrible. I have a lot of ideas for more upcoming coasters actually. I'm not sure if I can make more videos on that though, because we established people are afraid of coasters. But these areas here actually I will add later. I think I will just put in a couple of lines so we know that it is. Oh, we will see. We will see. I cannot pretend that I'm not doing everything just as I go along anyway, so cannot pretend as if this was planned. Well, the question what majority means. Do you mean the majority of everyone on my Discord, for example? Then you're not in the majority, you know? We did not define the rules beforehand, I would say. Not my fault. By the way, I have still this bingo machine. Anyone interested in a drawing bingo? Although I have no idea how to incorporate it in here. As I would have to draw something quite easy to really be able to stop in between. And it's American bingo, I have to say, because we have Ukela here in the chat, so I only have the ability to do that American bingo. Oh, you're saying David Bowie. I want to draw David Bowie. Does he, in The Labyrinth, does he qualify as a villain? I would say so, no? Goblin King? I would say he's a villain. I have to watch that movie again. I could make a Labyrinth. There's so great characters in the Labyrinth. I should make a Labyrinth. But a lot of them have hair, so perhaps I should not make a Labyrinth series. I have a fear of not having coasters. Coasterphobia would be an interesting game. I prefer Phasmophobia. By the way, I will get in contact with you guys, Laney. Cam is in the US, so perhaps we will play without him. It's a bit difficult to arrange. I would be free tomorrow in the evening, for example. Sue Sylvester dressed as David Bowie. That sounds nice. Sue Sylvester is a villain. Yeah, that's true. But Sue Sylvester as David Bowie, I think Sue Sylvester is iconic enough in her regular outfit. I should continue, shouldn't I? I don't want to bore you guys with my procrastination. How will we do this? Because we know this is dark as F, so I could already go in there with... I should already go in there with some of my darkest. Because also, this is exactly the wrong picture to have this paper. This looks as if I have let me see. Ooh, I could directly try with the charcoal one. But this is more or less charcoal. Let's try it. Why did I mess up with the selection of the paper for exactly that picture where I would really need the coarseness? But I am extremely surprised, I have to say, guys. That shows you how not pro I am with how much of the structure in my recent portraits comes from the paper and not my messy style. I always thought I was the messy one. The paper is the messy one. Look at this. This is squeaky clean. And I'm not sure that this is really good for Joker. But I said we will go with this. I will not. Perhaps I will change my opinion and start again in the second stream. But I don't hope so. I love the Goblin King. He is amazing. He was offering her everything just for the price of her brother. Lord, I don't see her problem. Well, I don't have a younger brother, so I can also comfortably say, why not? This will be interesting, folks. This will be very interesting. And I don't have a lot of crutches I'm normally using. But yes, this is the right paper for using color. So it might happen. Stay to find out. Stay tuned. I have to try to get this coarseness somehow in there. And this pen actually seems to be able to do so. So I never imagined that I would draw a complete picture with the Darkstone pencil, although I've read that people do that. But it might end up that I am using this one a lot because it, in contrast to this, it gets a little bit of structure in there. But I'm also already thinking about the possibilities of the other pencil in a more. It would be good. It would be better, perhaps, than the original paper I took for the Hella one, because Hella had a very smooth makeup. So I did not recreate that at all with my style and the messiness of my style. And using this paper would have helped that a lot, probably. I will not draw her again, but I should find another candidate that is more or less similar to find out if I'm wrong or not. Smooth AF, yeah, it is. This is much too smooth. Actually, let me try to take a little bit away, because I think actually it's really a pencil thing. So if I would be able to remove this for a whole deal, because it looks a bit out of place, that's why I try to get this one in there with a bit more structure, you know. But we still have to manage to get the contrast in there, right? So we have a bit of light and shadow, a bit of three-dimensionality. And that is where the shadow meets the makeup, and that makes it quite difficult to show really what the three-dimensionality through shadow, and they are mixed with the black, so it is a challenge. Can just say I was not satisfied with Hella's departure in Ragnarok. Yeah, they didn't really show it, but the story in general says that so the Legend of Ragnarok, that should be her last entry to the series. I would like to see her again. I really liked how she was underutilized in the movie. Cate Blanchett is just so genius an actor, and she played it with really a lot of fun, which I honestly noticed more when I searched for all those clips for the interview with her. And I concentrated on her and her performance. I honestly did not realize before how much I love her performance as Hela. I was always thinking, okay, yeah, she's a great actress, but she did not necessarily give her all. But she did a really great job in hindsight. Have fun recording, Lenny. Say hi to your husband for me. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so they're crazy productive. They're releasing, I think, 3 videos each day, and every video is about 20 minutes at least, something like that. They are playing Conan, Diana, for example. I actually thought about trying that again. But I think Ark for now is enough. At least I wanted to take a look what they have implemented by now in Conan, because it was pretty bare bones when we started, but it was also, I think, still in early access or something. I'm not sure. So what I'm really missing in those games is the story. I think we have to do something story-wise in Ark. Although, yes, I know that the island we have chosen now, Ragnarok, is not exactly the story island. But when we're all decked out and leveled, and so we can change the server, right? We can open up a story island and do some story. He's watching too, thank you very much. Hi and bye. There was a big build-up towards the fight between her and Thor, and there was no satisfaction of any of the main character getting the win. Well, they tricked her, and they cannot do that much more. And I actually think I liked it that I preferred it that way, because if you think of it, even Odin had to banish her. Could not kill her or anything. He didn't want to, perhaps because she's his daughter and he's not that terrible. I don't know. But there's a possibility that he would not even be able to offer if he wanted to. So, for the God of Thunder, which is per definition not as powerful as a God of Death, would have been able to really defeat her, that would be a bit off, wouldn't it? I think it would. So I'm actually pretty okay with that. They had to outsmart her and sacrifice a lot to actually win that fight. So I totally get what you mean, but I think it's a logical choice, and I'm pretty happy that they did not do something like a flashy win of Thor against the Goddess of Death. Conan might be less brutal than Ark. No, if I remember it right, I don't think so. I have not seen PvP in Ark yet. It might be more brutal, but if I remember correctly, there is a lot of how can I say it and still stay pretty family friendly while drawing a mass murderer? You know what I mean. When we're done with the enemies in Conan, there were more pieces lying around than in Ark. And yes, Liana is a very big Ark player. I played Ark for quite some time, and we just restarted, but on a not on a server. I am the host. Non-dedicated server, it's called, right? So we can only play when I play. We had our own server for a while. I'm not mad at it. It looks a bit but there is already a lot on the paper, and it does not look horribly wrong. And I love that Thor, the guy that usually just charges in, punches things, wins this one by being smart. He would not have been able to win it differently, I think. So it was, again, a growth for him. I think If you ask me, Thor is one of the characters that has the most of a character arc in about all the movies. He has up and downs, he has big failure, his big triumph, and in the end, he decides, I won't continue this thought because it might spoil Shaq up, but still already up until this point, he has such a big character growth. I think he has the single most character growth of all the Marvel characters, I would say. Or not only growth, character development, because ups and downs. You Thor the God of Hammers, yeah. It was a very good movie. I'm hoping to finally buy Ark on my PC tomorrow. I've had to wait since last Thursday because I was broke after purchasing that PC. Yeah, but Ark on PC, it looks so good. I would actually say join us from sometime, but we're playing mostly exactly when you're sleeping anyway, so we will see. The thing is, if I continue like this, this will be a very quick portrait. I'm not completely against that. But this might be a one-stream portrait. Yeah, 51 minutes. No, it will not because of the hair. But still, we might get pretty fast, pretty far. And yes, right now I'm thinking about color. Whew. This will not be great, but I will get my red pencils. Do you want to see dogs in between, or should I just go? It's really not far away. We will do it without the dogs. There I am again. I didn't put on my music. Okay, so yeah, the Flinger service probably needs the PC version, right? I could actually also join those servers, truth be told, but I don't want to. I'm such a noob. I do not really want to break anything for anyone. I think we will need a little bit of an orange also, but these are already very orangey. These are the only two real red ones that I have. Look at the color palette with me. This is terrible. Because these are very pinkish. And this is not really a... We will use perhaps a little bit of the... Yeah, we will probably use this one actually in some of the border areas, whatever. Oh, we have two more here that we can use. I have no idea. I don't do color. I have no idea about color, so I have no idea why these are not next to each other on this color spectrum, why there are two layers with 2 times the rainbow. There's probably a reason there that a color person could tell you. I have no idea. And I don't care that much to look at it. So, there is our red. And we will go next with the mouth, because if that totally ruins everything, just like my rolling that pens over the black and then the rest of the picture, then we just restart. So we do it right now. Okay. The speed at which they moved there was a bit too much for the amount of playtime I have. Yeah, that is exactly also what I would fear in joining Flinger. A little bit like a pressure. Liana knows that I'm not good with feeling pressure from outside. And that is a very big understatement. And feeling like pressured into having to play to either lose the connection to the others or even hinder them from doing what they want, perhaps even. That would be... No. I prefer playing my own little world and my own little speed. Well, the thing is, Flinger is really cool. Flinger is a very cool guy. Flinger is fun and he is so nice. And those people just collect cool people around them. That's just a law of nature. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing here, but I will just jump in. Because you guys demand color, so you should get... Oh, I will need... Can I? I will mix it with a dark stone, because actually I think with a black stone, because actually I think that one is more akin to the color pencils anyway than to the lead pencil, so it should work. We probably should... Let me test it somewhere. Yeah, okay. Let us test this. So I have a piece of mouth. In this piece of mouth, I am coloring this color, and then you told me to make it more swirly, right? So I do not have the structure in there, but I honestly I probably want that structure in this one, so probably we'll go for it. If I'm a bit rambling, that's because I totally have no idea what I'm doing here. But that's fine. So actually this is more or less the stuff I want to test. How does it react to the black? Yeah, so I can probably just draw with a color pencil and then add the black on top where I need it to darken it. Not when it's too, but we should be able to survive this. As long as you guys are with me, I will collect all my courage and just start with it. My big difficulty right now is now also let me get my color correction glasses. I have an issue with color, and then now I will show you the doggos because I have to check for my color correction glasses because this is a bit creepy for me. So these are my color correction glasses. So I hope they will help me. I have to wear them for a little bit before I can really trust them. So my eyes get used to it. So but I think this is more or less the base color for a lot of it. So This makes me nervous. But it brought Laney back, so might be interesting. So I have no idea what I'm doing, guys. This is learning on the job, you know. This is just going for it, and perhaps it works out. If not, we will restart. And I will blame you guys. So this will look very two-dimensional until I put in shadow with the darkstone pencil again. So don't worry about it too much now, and I'm more convincing myself than you guys right now that this is not a lost battle yet. This is an experiment, so I will love it no matter what. But this is quite motivational music, so all will be good in the end. Yeah, you have to be here. You have told my hand. Of course I blame you. What do you think who I would blame? Myself? Don't be ridiculous. Even with the color correction glasses, I'm not completely sure how high the color flows. Where I have to put color and where not. Especially in the dark area over there. The thing is, with using the Blackstone, I'm cheating anyway a little bit. I'm taking this completely for me new medium of color. Try to implement it as well as I can, which is not that well. And then just add on it what I understand, black and white, and just save it, I hope. I knew you would say that. I actually was thinking about taking that as the video description, Liana. Well, it's too late, Shakira. You were here for the decision. And I have the whole internet to scream into when I need to. The thing is, I already find it almost interesting the way it looks now. While it looks pretty bare bones. So now, Blackstone. We will see if we can save this. As always, contrast should help with making it look better. Even if your picture is not good, I have a lot of pictures that are not good, just increase contrast. It automatically makes them look better. It doesn't save a completely broken picture that you hate, but it makes it more fun to look at. Automatically. This line is much too dark. I have no idea why it developed that way. Actually, I think because it is not, the paper is not as saturated with the color there, so it had more paper to adhere to. It looks a bit messy, but it's at least interesting. Looks a bit like kindergarten, but well, what can you do? I have actually this color smudging stick, which is intended for blending the colors. We'll see what that does it. Dropping sound, okay, you mean dropping sound on your side, okay. Okay, so that is terrible. Well, it has to look messy, right? Has to look messy. I have to tell that myself. Yeah, but you're right, Liana. So it is pretty recognizable. You get the Heath Ledger Joker feeling pretty early. And the thing is, with a splash of color, although it is not very intense, and it cannot be too intense for Joker, because there are no clean colors on Joker. Even the clothes are dirty, although pretty vibrant with that green and everything. It is just Joker, the red. It's actually a pretty easy way to create that recognizability. Okay, so let's put in a little work in the nose area, and this will be more stylized than my usual portraits, but I'm having fun with this because I just do. I'm having a lot of fun right now. I hope you are having fun too. I'm not so afraid of mistakes right now because this will be pretty experimental anyway. And it gets more of an artsy vibe than my usual portraits, which are striving a bit more towards photorealism, which takes a little bit of the art vibe. I think I can remove the color glasses though, for the time being. I should have somewhere actually an HB version of the Blackstone pencil, so a little harder. Because I'm a bit afraid. Let me check what happens when I take my regular hard pencils. Use them for the basic shading. Oh, it's okay. So I don't have to do everything with a Blackstone, which is a good thing, I think. Because I don't have that much control over the Blackstone, to be honest. It goes just directly to a very dark place. Hey, DM Sketching! Hello! Welcome! Thank you for joining us. I did a thing. I tried color. I wasn't extremely successful, but I don't feel like I have to burn it directly, so I think we will continue to work with this. Yeah, my opinion of this will fluctuate a lot. Right now I'm again a bit unsure, but well. Yeah, I don't work a lot with colors, which you have probably noticed. I don't see color very well also, so I was wearing my color correction glasses. Because especially with red, it is a bit of a struggle for me to really see it and understand the different shades and do any kind of blending. Is a bit of a challenge in those colors. It is, but it's also with green. So that's why I'm staying away from color a lot of times. But I've seen a couple of channels doing great stuff with colors, so I'm always on the fence of trying it. Chat was a little pushy today, so we went for it. Thing with this is bit of unclean lines. It's all in favor of Joker. As long as you're here and watching, you can be almost as mean as you want to. As long as it stays family friendly, for example. Gets very messy now though. I have to find a way to make this, to clean this up a bit. Preferably not smudging. I actually might have to use this bit of smudging because the black stone is just so definite. I have no idea if that word helps you understanding what I mean, but it's just it brings a lot of character into it, and that character can be a bit much as it is here right now. And if I don't manage to get it to lose a bit of that, I might need to smudge a bit to make it lose a bit of structure. Get a bit more of a uniformness out of it. It looks very messy. I'm not sure. Oh, we're doing so many new things here. Let me try. I never do this. I'm not slamming it, but I'm always saying very clearly that while I know there are a lot of people out there smudging pencil and stuff, I always make a point out of it that I am not doing that. So also just doing it a little bit not everywhere. And I will probably regret it anyway, so. We'll actually not do it around the eyes, because I want that contrast. At least right now, I feel like I want that contrast. I have actually thought about trying this anyway at some point, because for me it looks a little bit like the key to getting a bit away from my messy style and into more of a photorealistic one. You need smudging, because you do not have a shading structure on photorealistic skin. Well, I mean, I'm not nearly as satisfied with this as I was with the Black Panther. We haven't finished it also, but I'm actually, when I'm looking at it like this, I'm pretty okay with it. When I'm looking at how you guys see it, I'm not. It is an interesting experience with that smudging. Because it's a little bit as if you would put colors on there and then start mixing it and working with it like watercolors or something. Get what I mean? I'm not sure I get it. Well, we'll continue like this because honestly I do not have that much of a choice anymore. I'm not in love with it. Far from it. I always take progress photos with my art only because most of the mistakes are missing elements that I miss come out in the photos, then I go back and fix it up. Yeah, I'm doing that with my smartphone normally to be able to see it in small, because then you see a lot of those issues. I have enough perspectives here to see it in quite small, so that's a benefit of the setup I have. 2 times seeing what you guys see, so one without the delay and one with the delay, and the one with the delay is pretty small, so I think it's not complete catastrophe yet. So for example, we can now even more darken the areas around the eyes. That should give us a bit of a interesting contrast to the rest again, which is now missing a little bit, and that should again make it a bit more palatable to look at it. We have to be a bit more careful on this side because it is not that dark, there's much more light on it, so we will not put it as dark as the other side, but darker than it is yet. Well, we're going for drama in this one. Not that much realism, but drama. Yes, exactly. That was actually also what I thought. The paper can also squeak a lot when I really press on it. I just have to tell myself, continue telling myself, messy is okay for this one. I will never call my normal style messy again, I think. I probably will. But I will understand the meaning of true messiness. Thing is, now I am caught in the smudging spiral. And have to use it everywhere in the face. I think you're supposed to be able to sharpen these again, just using a sharpener. I'm not sure. to look that up before I destroy something. Not that heavy. Joker's nothing if not a drama queen anyway. Fabulous drama queen. Fabulously scary. Greasy, a little scary, but fabulous nonetheless. A little scary, a lot scary, I would say. Alright, you probably just know the movie Jokers, right? That sounds condescendingly. The way I read it, at least. But I know you don't mean it like that. See, in The Dark Knight, I used to actually think the Joker was awesome when I was younger, even though he was scary. Yeah, there are different renditions of the Joker, and he is not that cool. I think what people like about the Joker, that know more the casual versions of Joker, is more of what the Riddler actually is. Joker is not likable, not for a millisecond. He is a very cool villain, he's a great villain, he's a fantastic villain, he's one of the best villains of all time. But he's not likable. If you find him likable, after you know all those comic stories and everything about him, when he, for example, removed his face and wore that face again as a mask, stuff like that. If you really find that likable, not just cool, you should think about talking to someone. Me no happy. How do you get stuff like this more evenly looking now? Probably not at all, right? I don't like that I do not have any kind of how do I say it, visual relief in the picture. So now it is really just noisy and loud. Yeah, I said, I don't think, I know you didn't mean it condescendingly, but it sounded a bit, oh, you'd only know the one from the movie, right? Bit elitist. If I had to pick being a hero or villain, I would totally pick villain, just because it seems like fun until you get your behind kicked by the heroes. Well, it's a question. You see in a lot of examples out in the world that villains are not as regularly punished as they are in real life as they are in the movies and comics. So. Have you read or seen the movies? Nightwatch. I'm not sure if it is called like that in English. They are Russian movies and Russian books. The Nightwatch and the Daywatch, I think it's what they are called. Where you have people with powers, or people that are more than human, and they have abilities and they have degrees of strength, and there are two different sides of it, the Night Watch and the Day Watch. The Day Watch actually being considered the evil ones, which are using the darkness, but they are the Day Watch because it's all about balance, and they're running around during the day making sure that the light people do not do too much good. And the same with the Night Watch, which consists of light people, which run around and make sure that the evil people do not do too much darkness. Oh my! I have to take my pills. I cannot really use that while I'm streaming. It will always. Where's the camera? I hate it, guys. There. Oh, I think at least you see again now. Okay. It's quite interesting. I like it. I really like the books. They make a lot of inherent sense, and they always add something new to it, and they develop and are pretty exciting. I think they are. The movies are not that great. They deviate a lot again from the book. But it's also interesting to see a high-budget Russian movie for once. That makes it pretty interesting to watch, at least, because the Russian style can be so different. I feel a little bit like a very bad makeup artist right now. Hour 38 we are already streaming, yeah. We are reaching an end of my concentration, so we won't be able to draw for too much longer. And probably we should go into more of that area anyway once we have I want to go really dark down here as a contrast line, but when I do that now I will just smudge it constantly when I am working up here, so we will also be adding that only later. I want actually a little bit of the ears. Just for context. So we went bold. It did not pay off 100%. Definitely not. But we went bold, and perhaps I find some ways to make this a bit nicer, a bit better. Again. And I'm so not happy with the color. I have to do more color because I just suck at it. Let me say it like I mean it. It is so flat, especially the color is so flat. I have to think about it a lot. I'm thinking about restarting again, but I do not want to make that now a recurring theme, you know. I will probably, as an experiment, just continue this. Like we're doing that right now. Especially since I also have to experiment with the hair anyway. And perhaps when I add the hair in some kind that does not completely suck, perhaps that helps also. Let's add a little bit of madness before we stop. Let me just clean this up a bit. And then we have, it is not really white. We have that one small reflection. You don't even see it correctly probably. The one small, it's not really white, but we will just put a white point there because that will at least make it a little bit more interesting and probably menacing. That one glint in his eye. We might add one to the other one, although there is none in the original. If this looks too strange later. But for now we'll leave it at one because he's crazy. The vibration looks awesome. The vibration of the camera. Nudge Yes, exactly. The original title is Nudge easier to find than Night's Watch. That's just lead you to Game of... Yeah, I think there are actually a lot of books, and there were books prior to the translation of Nudge but that's only the first title of the first book, but you will find the follow-ups then. The first movie had Buffy in it though, and a TV in the background. Yes, exactly, I remember. That was a very cool touch, because there is a version of vampires in there. There are a couple of mystic beasts that are embedded in there. Pretty interesting. Yeah, how do you call it? Interesting mythology. Their own mythology. So it's quite interesting world building. The eyes look amazing. Do you mean this picture? Because I don't know if I trust you with that anymore. Would maybe some highlights on the lips help, do you think? I'm not sure. There are not many. There is a little bit there. Yes, it would probably help in terms of getting more contrast in it because it looks so flat. Might even help there, but probably more with the white. I have a white stick here. Not with a gel pen because it should not be white. I have this actually one of the more expensive one. I bought the only one I bought from the expensive ones is the white one because I thought that's probably not the easiest thing to do, a white pencil, but it does not work that well when there is already that much color on it. It's not the pen's fault probably. I think actually you can erase the color pencils much better than I would have thought. So if we rough it up a bit again, the white might stick better. I'm not sure that that is enough. I will have to sleep on it. I fear. I'm not that happy. Actually, you know what I want to do? Still a little bit above this eye to get a little bit more context there, but that because that is I think also a very dumb thing. I do not get this dumb packaging closed again. I have no idea. I don't know if that works, but what if you just try to just pencil draw the mouth over the color as if it was just a background? That is exactly what I tried. It does not work because the black does not stick on the colored pencil. It is like you're trying to draw on glass with a pencil. It just doesn't stick. That's the issue I have. I would be able to, if I would now be able to just shade the mouth normally on there, that could look quite good, but I cannot. I might be able to erase a lot of the color off there and then have a better chance at doing this. And I might be doing so next time, but I'm thinking about looking up some techniques perhaps. I have no idea. I'm not sure. But let me put a little bit up here because I think that is actually also helpful for a menacing character to have this impression of darkness over the eye. I think there are parts that are not. That's not what I wanted to use. There are parts that are not half bad. Or more aspects because nothing really whole. But the eye area, for example, yes, that is completely fine. And the smudging itself is not that bad. In general, what is not that nice is my execution of it. It is very messy, and you probably have some, for example, like I'm doing right now, having one direction, which I did not do in the beginning, and there's probably a lot to learn how to make this look better. I'm actually never really happy with when people are smudging stuff very, very uniform. I'm always thinking, okay, this looks boring, why are you doing it like that? I will never again underestimate how difficult it actually is to smooth evenly. So if you're able to do that, I don't think it looks always the best, but that is a good skill that I thought was much easier. Well, it is what it is. And I think the end product could still look quite interesting. It will not be my normal... I would have almost called my style clean. And I perhaps now have to consider it clean, at least in comparison to this. It will be different, and that's fine in the end, because we tried something, we learned from it. Well, menacing is a good look for him. That is not untrue. The rest of the face pops out perfectly, but the lips, as you said, very flat. Yes, the camera vibrated with the alarm. Yeah, I try to be fast. Straight out the stream, I am finishing Infinity War. I'm scared to watch it. Oh yes. Cried twice in the first 10 minutes. I was too shocked to cry. I shock cried. Lol. Yeah, I told you. Infinity Wars is especially when you're not spoiled and you do seem like you're really non-spoiled. It is the soul-crushing part of the movie. Yeah, I have to somehow save the mouth. The mouth is the biggest problem I have right now, because the rest, you're right. I think you forgive the rest that it is messy because it is the Joker and it somehow fits the feeling of the picture and the person, the monster. But you don't forgive bad shading, and the mouth is just badly shaded. So I guess we will be able to really rub a lot of color away from it. Should we do that today still? No, I don't think so. We can rub a lot of this stuff away. I hope, and then we can add more blackstone. But that's something for another day. So, thank you very much for holding my hand through all of this. I very much appreciate it. To everybody who might be new to the stream, in the background there will always be a time-lapse version of my live streams available on Monday normally. So we will have the second stream, and hopefully the last stream in this case, in 2 days, on Thursday. I might actually be able to smooth it out a little bit with this, just by being very patient. I think I will do that next stream. You see, it gets a bit more stable. Time-lapse on Monday. So you do not have to watch to the complete, in the end, normally around 3 to 4 hours of live stream to see the complete picture and the way to the result. Of course, if you want to, you are more than welcome to rewatch the complete time-lapse. But I try to make it more palatable, and I try to be funny sometimes. I also have started to do a little bit of crafty stuff if you're interested in that. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. And if you like what you've seen, give me a thumbs up on this video and subscribe for future videos. And just look into my extensive library of already completed portraits. Your favorite hero or villain might already be in there. I think this works. I think we will be able to save it more with just a little bit of fixing of those pesky blurred parts. Well, a little bit of hope. Thank you very much for watching. You're interested in crafts, yeah. I actually want to start my next crafting video this afternoon and hope that I will be done for a Friday release again. I would like to have a 2 video, 1 portrait and 1 crafting one per week. But we will see. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for not hating on it. See you next time and goodbye.